Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to give you 50 important MCQs from cell biology. So they may useful for your DL preparation, JL preparation, AP set, NET, PG set, MSET, NEET too. Let's see the questions one by one. First question is electron transport system is located in. Options are mitochondrial matrix, cytosol, cristae, all of these. For this, the correct answer is cristae. So, electron transport chain is located on cristae. Cristae is nothing but infoldings of mitochondrial inner membrane is nothing but cristae. Let's see the next question. Match the list 1 with list 2. Here two lists are given. You have to match the list 1 with list 2. So first list consisting lipid storage, functions. Second list consisting organelles. Okay. So you have to match the list 1 with list 2. So I am going to match lipid storage. So spirosomes, they can store the lipids. So glycolate metabolism is occurs in peroxisomes. Transport of macromolecules is done with the help of plasmodesmata. So nucleolus, which is responsible for the RNA synthesis. So for this, the correct answer is first one is the correct answer. That means A, B, C, D is the correct one. Let's see the next question. In which of the following plant Robert Hooke has discovered the dead cells? So for these options are given Tradescantia, Quercus sober, oat, Millingtonia. So for this the correct answer is Quercus sober. Okay, so Robert Hooke for the first time identified non-living cells of Quercus sober. Let's see the next question. Which one of the following is a small spherical organelle that is bounded by a single membrane and synthesizes and stores lipids? Options are glyoxysome, spirosome, centrosome, peroxisome. Yes, the correct answer is glyoxysome. Let's see the next question. The scope of the cell theory was extended by. Options are Robert Hooke, Leeuwenhoek, Schleiden and Schwann, Rudolf Virchow. So actually cell theory first given by Schleiden and Schwann. So that was extended by Rudolf Virchow by giving omnis cellulae cellula. That means all cells are existing from the pre-existing cells. Let's see the next question. Branched nuclei are encountered in which of the following? Options are cylindrical cells, glandular cells, fusiform cells, polyhedral cells. Yes, fusiform cells are having branched nuclei. Let's see the next question. The jelly-like substance in a living cell was identified by. Options are Dujardin, Robert Brown, Purkinje, Carty and Fontana. So for this the correct answer is Purkinje. Let's see the next question. Consider the following statements. Here two statements are given. Among them you have to pick the correct statements. So the chloroplast pigments are fat soluble. All the pigments of chloroplast are located in the thylakoid membranes. So you have to pick the correct statements. Options are given only one, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. So for this the correct answer is two statements are correct. Let's see the next question. Which of the following technological instruments have lowest and highest magnification range respectively? Options are fluorescence microscope, phase contrast microscope, electron microscope, phase contrast microscope, scanning electron microscope, phase contrast microscope, light microscope and electron microscope. Yes, so light microscope have the lowest magnification range, whereas electron microscope has highest magnification range. Let's see the next question. Organelles involved in energy conversion or the options are rough endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus, nucleus and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus and chloroplast, mitochondria and chloroplast. For this the correct answer is mitochondria and chloroplast. They both are involved in energy conversion. Let's see the next question. Microscope used to study 3D images is. Options are fluorescence microscope, phase contrast microscope, transmission electron microscope, light microscope. Yes, transmission electron microscope is used to study 3D images. Let's see the next question. The mitochondrial DNA, mtDNA, is. Options are capable of producing only one kind of RNA, the mtRNA, also known as mitochondrial specific RNA. So unique in producing both mitochondrial RNA and mitochondrial mRNA. Able to produce three classes of mitochondrial RNA, namely mRNA, rRNA, tRNA. So fourth option is characterized by the fact that it produces its own rRNA, tRNA, which interact directly with mtDNA codons for photon protein synthesis. For this, the correct answer is mRNA, mtDNA, that is able to produce mitochondrial RNA, namely mRNA, rRNA, tRNA. Let's see the next question. Microscope used to study the detailed account of epidermal appendages and in structures of proteins in the cells. Options are fluorescence microscope, phase contrast microscope, scanning electron microscope, transmission electron microscope. Yes, SEM, or nothing but scanning electron microscope, which is used to study the epidermal appendages, where it is also used for the study of protein structures. Let's see the next question. Glycosomes in a plant cell. Options are detoxify the hydrogen peroxide produced in the cell, store the waste products released in the carbohydrate metabolism, break down the fatty acids during the replication of lipid, convert the glycolate into glycine. For this, the correct answer is they break down the fatty acids during the respiration of the lipid. Let's see the next question. The term cell was given by. Options are Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, Robert Brown, Sladen and Schwann, Robert Hooke. For this, the correct answer is Robert Hooke is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. If the nucleus considered as a cell's control center and chloroplasts are solar collectors, which of the following might be called cell's combination food processor and garbage disposer? First option is lysosome, flagellum, Golgi apparatus, ribosome. Yes, lysosomes are considered as food processors as well as garbage disposers. Let's see the next question. The technique required to locate DNA molecule in a cell. Options are X-ray diffraction, electrophoresis, ultracentrifugation, microscopy. So generally scientists have used microscopy to locate the DNA molecule in the cell. Let's see the next question. Which of the following is not a function of Golgi apparatus? Options are given. The Golgi apparatus receives proteins synthesized by rough endoplasmic reticulum, processes them and packages them into vesicles that may be transported to the cell surface for secretion. Some vesicles formed by the Golgi apparatus remain in the cell and function as lysosomes. The Golgi apparatus plays a role in the glycosylation of lipids. The Golgi apparatus is responsible for the synthesis of phospholipids. So among them, we have to pick the wrong statement, that is the Golgi apparatus is responsible for the synthesis of phospholipids. Remaining three statements are correct regarding Golgi apparatus. Let's see the next question. The microscope used in diagnostic microbiology for bacterial identification is. Options are electron microscope, fluorescence microscope, phase contrast microscope, light microscope. So the correct answer is fluorescence microscope. Let's see the next question. The fluidity of membranes in a plant cell cold weather may be maintained by. Options are increasing the number of phospholipids with saturated hydrocarbon tails, activating a H plus pump, increasing the concentration of cholesterol in the membrane, increasing the number of phospholipids with unsaturated hydrocarbon tails. For this, the correct answer is increasing the number of phospholipids with unsaturated hydrocarbon tails is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. Why do purple cabbage leaves retain their color in cold water but lose it in boiled water? Options are boiling water can penetrate into the cell cavity. The plasma membrane is damaged in boiling water, allowing pigment to leak out. The pigment present in the cabbage is not soluble in cold water. The cell wall is destroyed by boiling water. For this, the correct answer is the plasma membrane or plasma lemma is damaged in boiling water, allowing the pigment to leak out. Let's see the next question. Smallest membrane bound cell organelle is. Options are peroxisome, glyoxysome, ribosome, lysosome. For this, the correct answer is lysosome. Let's see the next question. Innermost portion of a mature plant cell wall is. Options are primary cell wall, secondary cell wall, plasma membrane, plasmodesmata. For this, the correct answer is plasma membrane is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. Which of the following pairs is mismatch? Options are nucleus, genetic information, cell membrane permeability selectively, microtubules, repositories, Golgi complex cell plate formation. For this, the correct answer is microtubules, repositories is the mismatched pair. Let's see the next question. Contractile elements of muscle cells are. Options are intermediate filaments, centrioles, microtubules, actin filaments. For this, the correct answer is actin filaments is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. Both clockwise and anti-clockwise streaming movement of cytoplasm around the vacuole is observed in. Options are stem cells of Vallisneria, meristematic cells, leaf cells of Hydrilla, staminal hairs of Rhodis color. So for this the correct answer is staminal hairs of Rhodis color is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. The internal skeleton of a cell is composed of. Options are microtubules, intermediate filaments and microfilaments. Cellulose and intermediate filaments. Cellulose and microtubules and centrioles. Microfilaments. For this the correct answer is microtubules, intermediate filaments and microfilaments is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. An important constituents of cell membrane is. Options are magnesium pectate, calcium pectate, cellulose and glycolipids, phospholipids. Phospholipids is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. So this question was repeated. Let's see the next question. The cell organelle is involved in conversion of fats into carbohydrates are. Options are peroxisomes, lysosomes, glyoxysomes, mitochondria. For this the correct answer is glyoxysomes. They involved in the conversion of fats into carbohydrates. Let's see the next question. Select the correct statement concerning membrane. Let's see the options. First one is carbohydrates are only found associated with the membranes of prokaryotic cells. Glucose is the most abundant membrane carbohydrate. Cell membranes consist of protein and phospholipid. Carbohydrate is not a membrane component. Membrane carbohydrates function primarily in cell-to-cell recognition. For this, the correct answer is membrane carbohydrates. They function primarily in cell-to-cell recognition. Let's see the next question. Inter and intracellular transportation occurs respectively through. Options are endoplasmic reticulum and plasmodesmata, endoplasmic reticulum and cytoskeleton, plasmodesmata and pits, plasmodesmata and endoplasmic reticulum. For this, the correct answer is plasmodesmata and endoplasmic reticulum is the correct one. Let's see the next question. The fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane given by Singer and Nicholson is applicable to. Options are only prokaryotic membrane, only eukaryotic membrane, both A and B, only to organelle membranes. For this, the correct answer is it is applicable to both prokaryotic and eukaryotic membranes. Let's see the next question. Ribosomal subunits are held together at the time of translation in the presence of. Options are micronutrient manganese, micronutrient calcium, macronutrient magnesium, macronutrient NPK. For this, the correct answer is macronutrient magnesium. It helps the two ribosomal subunits during translation. Let's see the next question. Hemidesmosomes are structures they are found between. Options are two adjacent plant cells, two adjacent animal cells, between cell and extracellular matrix, within a bacteria. For this, the correct answer is between the cell and extracellular matrix is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. The substance into the cell cytoplasm pass through cell wall and protoplasm. What physiological terms are used during the entry of substances across these layers respectively? Options are selectively permeable and permeable, permeable and semi-permeable. Both are selectively permeable, permeable and selectively permeable. For this, the correct answer is permeable and selectively permeable is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. Thylakoid membrane has lateral asymmetrical positioning of photosystem in chloroplast. Which statement is correct? Options are PS1 in non-oppressed portion and PS2 in oppressed portion, PS2 in non-oppressed portion and PS1 in oppressed portion, both PS1 and PS2 in oppressed portion, both PS1 and PS2 non-oppressed portion of thylakoid. For this, the correct answer is PS1 in non-oppressed portion of and PS2 in oppressed portion is the correct. So ergosome arise from. Options are nucleosome, oxysome, polysome, plasmosome. For this, the correct answer is plasmosome is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. Which cellular organelle functions in ribosome synthesis? Options are the endoplasmic reticulum, the nucleolus, the nucleus, the Golgi bodies. For this, the correct answer is the nucleolus is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. The organelle that helps in the assimilation of carbon dioxide into carbohydrates. Options are glycosome, peroxisome, amyloplast, chloroplast. So chloroplast is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. The centriole and centrosome take part in. Options are nucleus formation, start of cell division, cell plate formation, spindle formation. The answer is spindle formation. Let's see the next question. Identify the incorrect match. Options are nucleolus, plasmosome, Golgi complex, lipochondrion, nucleus, nucleosome, ribosome, ergosome. For this, the correct answer is nucleus and nucleosome is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. Which of the following sequences represents a possible pathway in the production of a secretory protein? So options are rough endoplasmic reticulum, secretory vesicle, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus. Option B, ribosomes, rough endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, secretory vesicle. Option C, secretory vesicle, Golgi apparatus, ribosomes, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Option D, rough endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, secretory vesicles, Golgi apparatus. For this, the correct answer is ribosomes and then endoplasmic reticulum and then to Golgi apparatus and then they come to secretory vesicle. This is the right pathway of secretory protein. Let's see the next question. Which of the following is not a biological property of protoplasm? Options are growth, irritability, Tyndall effect, metabolism. So Tyndall effect is not a biological property of protoplasm. Let's see the next question. The percentage amount of integral protein of plasma membrane is. Options are 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%. Actually 60% of integral protein is present in plasma membrane. Let's see the next question. The dominant pigment present in pheophyce is. Options are lycopene, phycoerythrin, fucoxanthin, beta carotene. For this, the correct answer is fucoxanthin is the correct answer. Let's see the next question. The acrosome of a sperm is formed from. The options are mitochondria, centrosome, lysosome, Golgi bodies. For this, the correct answer is acrosome of sperm is formed from the Golgi body. Let's see the next question. Middle lamellum occurs between. Options are plasma membrane and cytoplasm, secondary cell walls of adjacent cells, primary cell wall and plasma membrane, primary cell wall of adjoining cells. For this, the correct answer is primary cell wall of adjoining cells. Let's see the next question. Lysosomes are. The options are digestive centers, respiratory centers, excretory centers, energy centers. So they are digestive centers because they contain hydrolytic enzymes. Let's see the next question. Osmoregulatory process of a cell is under the control of. Options are vacuole and chloroplast, mitochondria and vacuole, cell wall and plasma membrane and vacuole. For this, the correct answer is plasma membrane and vacuole is the correct answer. Okay students, if you like this video, don't go away without subscribing my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.